What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to Right Body for You. I am your host, as the voice said before me out loud, Donnielle. And welcome to the other side of the class, the workshop, Right Body for You workshop I did in Toronto. Woohoo! Honestly, it feels like it's been forever since I've been with you guys, even though it's just been a week. It feels like forever. And what was interesting is in the class, in the workshop this weekend in Toronto, we had a huge conversation about, is time real? Which just gives you a fun example of the random things that come up during a workshop for quote-unquote bodies when it's really just about your life and everything involved, because how much do we let time actually affect our bodies? Wah, wah. Different topic for a different conversation. But I did talk about how on radio, if you have ever doubted if time is real, work in radio. Because don't trust me, TV, radio, time is not real. Time is so malleable, changeable, and funnable, and anything else you want to talk about. So, today we're going to talk about space, the final frontier, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, as you can tell, I'm declaring, if you haven't heard it before, I am a total geek. All right, I admit it. Past couple weeks have been song titles. This week it's space, the final frontier. And if you guys pay me enough, I'll actually do the entire opening of Star Trek because, yes, I do know it. It gives me chills. Well, like I said, I am a walking, talking geek, and I actually just like to think that it's my ability to ask questions. You know, everything we talk about on this show is about asking questions, not coming to a conclusion about anything, being willing to receive different possibilities. And I think that's one of the reasons I actually enjoy sci-fi and fantasy and things like that, is because in that realm, if you really look at it, everybody's always asking, okay, what else? Okay, what else? But it'd be kind of cool if it was like this. And, well, what if we could create this? Wouldn't this be cool? And what else? And what else? What else? And, you know, that is one of the things I truly, truly love about this. And what was interesting is when I first started working with Access Consciousness and Right Body for You, I started looking at this and it's like, hey, you know, they asked a question, are you willing to be that space? And when I started looking at space, when they started talking about it, and I'm like, space? Like, the stuff with stars in it? And the stuff that you were getting to? The black thing out there? Space? I want to be space? What the freak are you talking about, space? I mean, I know, you know, everybody's a bright new star, but really, what the freak are you talking about? And so it's been kind of a fun exploration of space, the final frontier. And why I'm playing with that on this show today is because so often we don't actually allow ourselves that space. And I'm not referring to, in this case, the space of the stars and the heavens and things like that, but actual the space of who you be, what you be, and allowing yourself that momentary pause, for lack of a better word, but that momentary place where you actually are open to receiving, open to asking a question, open to allowing yourself to see other possibilities. You know, and in this reality, we've been taught our entire lives, well, many things, you know, want to hurry up, figure it out, get over it, get there, get it done. And there's not much time for anything else along the way. So when I'm doing this space, the final frontier, it is kind of, it almost seems like it's something unobtainable. See, I can't even say that word anymore because I think everything's possible. But it almost seems unattainable that we would actually allow ourselves a moment of pause, a moment of ability to take stock of things or look at it or receive something, look at something. I mean, I do find it funny how, and I am so guilty of this, you guys, not as much as I used to be, but I definitely was. I would schedule time off. I would schedule time for me. Anybody else ever do that? It's like, okay, boom, 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 and I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take 5 minutes for myself, and then I'm going to do this, and then blah, 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 right? Anybody else do that? It's like things I was looking at, while I was in Toronto, I got a pedicure and a manicure. And I'm like, I don't know why I don't do this stuff more often because, it's just so yummy for my body. Here I am talking about bodies, and my body loves getting the manicure and pedicure. And usually it's just something I rush before I leave town and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, but I get my massages regularly. I'm like, well, what's the difference there? Why do I get a massage and easily? But when it comes to something like manicure or pedicure, I put it off and I put it off and put it off until I don't get it done, or I do it myself, or just all this kind of stuff. And oddly enough, the awareness came that I had scheduled the massages. The lady I like going to is so always busy that if you don't schedule her, you don't get in. It's like if I called and said, "Oh, can I come in today?" They would be like, "Well, her next available appointment is in like 2 or 3 weeks," and so I have to schedule that out. So I do find it interesting that the only things that I'm allowing me and my body to have the space and the place, not universally, but just, in this pedicure, manicure, massage looking at place, is the things I've already scheduled. And it's like we do this so often with receiving. We do this so often with awarenesses, with questions. We put things like this on a schedule. We put things on a expectation. We put things on well, this is the way it's got to be. And if it doesn't match that, then I've done something wrong. Okay? And this is what I'm getting to with this show today. So so often we ask a question, and then we immediately go into that. I didn't get anything. So my question to you is, are you willing to be the space of receiving the awareness? And are you hiding from the awareness? Here's the fun part. Are you hiding from the awareness? Have you already decided what the awareness is? There are so many ways we hide from receiving the awareness to the questions that we ask. What would happen if we actually allowed ourselves that space? See, there's that word again, that space to receive. Okay? So what do I mean by this? Ask a question and then be the space to receive it. All right. So when you do we ask a question and we go, so often I hear, because I work with people a lot, whether in the workshops like this weekend or in private sessions, I'll ask people, I'm like, okay, so blah, 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 how is that for you? Or what do you get? Or I'll assist them. I'm like, they ask a question, and then almost immediately they go, it's like, why do I do this? Or what is the value of this? What is the value of the creation of this? And then they look at me and go, okay, what's the value of creation? I don't know. And in some cases, it's really interesting to see them actually start phrasing the words, I don't know, physically out of their mouth before the question has even been completed. I mean, talk about talent. Talk about magic of bodies is how you can say, what's the value of creating this? I don't know. And actually have the word I coming out of your mouth about the same time as what's the value about the word value of creating this. And you're already starting to say, I don't know. And so I find it funny how often we all do this. Ask a question, I don't know. I'm like, and sometimes I actually stop people and say, hey, would you be willing to ask that question again? And then stop. Don't come to a judgment or conclusion, and then actually allow yourself to receive the answer, the response, the awareness, actually receive something. Okay? Would you be willing to give yourself the space, and this is what I mean by the space in this case, would you be willing to give your space to receive the awareness? So often people assume that if you ask a question, the second the question mark is completed, they have to have the awareness or they've done something wrong. Okay? What if that's not true? So everywhere you've decided and judged that if within a nanosecond of asking the question you don't have the awareness that you've done something wrong, you're not aware, you can't communicate, you can't do consciousness, you're just truth, would you guys be willing to start and create all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pocket, line, shorts, boys, and beyond. That is an example of the access consciousness verbal processing, which works on the energetic level. The great thing is, because it's all energy, you don't have to know what it means for it to work. You just have to be willing to go, you know what, yeah, I'm not going to judge myself as much today about the speed and timing of the questions that I ask, okay? You can go to theclearingstatement.com and read all about it. But like I said, you don't have to know what it is for it to work. You just have to be willing. Anybody else willing? Raise your hand. Cool. Be willing to see what else is possible here. All right, so one thing I want to talk about with this whole being willing to be in the space to receive the awareness is I want to talk about different types of questions. So many times people think there's only one type of question. Well, it's a question. That's it. Yes, and there are different types of questions. You can do things like a question with a conclusion in it. A limited question, it has an expectation in there maybe. And you can also do a question that is just yes, no, right? Or you can do a question that has so many possibilities and so many variables that the awareness coming in can kind of, at the beginning, make you kind of feel overwhelmed. And then there's also the questions where, yes, you can get an awareness immediately. And then there's also questions where you have to allow the universe, your body, everything to arrange things to get you in a place in a space to be able to receive the awareness. And these are questions that sometimes takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 months. It's those questions where other things outside of yourself has to align and be put in motion for you to be able to receive the awareness, okay? So let's go through some of these questions right quick just to kind of help you start to get that, the energy of what a question is and what questions you're asking and what those might create or what the space is required to be able to receive the awareness, okay? Because one thing I do know is just because it has a question mark at the end doesn't actually mean it's a question. Sometimes it has a conclusion or an expectation to it, okay? So, one question could be something like, what's it gonna take for me to lose 50 pounds? Okay, so on the surface, it's like, yeah, it's a question. What's it gonna take for me to lose 50 pounds? The thing that's interesting with this type of question is it has that goal energy into it, which the goal, the original definition, is to hinder, impede, or jail, okay? And so when you say something like, what's it going to take for me to lose 50 pounds, there is that judgment, you have to lose 50 pounds, or only 50 pounds. If you lose more, that's always good, or if you lose less, that's a fault, that there's something wrong in it. So when you say something like, what's it going to take to lose 50 pounds, it is a question, and there's an expectation and a judgment in it. So when you receive the awareness, it's going to be a little bit different then asking it a different way. People ask me all the time, well, if I'm not supposed to say, how do I lose 50 pounds? How do I lose weight? What the freak's going on? First it starts with a question to your body. Body truth, do you desire to lose any weight or shift weight or, change it? And if it says yes, it's like, okay, cool. And then you want to ask your body, instead of what would it take for me to lose 50 pounds, you want to ask your body, okay, truth body, what's required for us to shift and change this? Okay? Shift and change this. Because in that, you don't have the expectation or the projection or judgment that only 50 pounds is acceptable. Okay? And you also don't have the limitation that the only way for you to shift and change this is a weight loss program. Okay? Because when you say something like, oh, what's it going to take for me to lose 50 pounds? With that kind of projection, expectation, and judgment in there, you start opening up to only things that are weight loss oriented. Okay? Yes, you can always receive. I'm not saying you can't receive something else, like, skydive. I don't know. But I'm not saying you can't receive something else, but it takes more energy than it takes more energy and is a little bit more difficult. So when you say something like, body, what's it going to take to lose 50 pounds, you start to open up to possibilities of weight loss. But what if the thing that helps you is going to shift this weight is rubbing your body down with baby powder every night, talcum powder, that kind of stuff. I know this sounds silly, but there's a woman I actually know who, she tried for the longest time to lose weight, and she's like, body, what's it going to take to lose 50 pounds or, whatever her target was. And, I had this conversation with her. I'm like, well, what about you ask a different way? Instead of, body, what's going to take to lose 50 pounds, I asked her to ask, okay, body, what would it take to shift and change this? And, she'd been asking the 50-pound thing for a long time. Then when she asked body, what's it going to take to shift and change this, her body went baby powder, talcum powder, rub down every night, which, again, that doesn't match the weight loss energy that the question of body, what's it going to take to lose the weight. But what was interesting is once she started doing that, her body started feeling so good every night. It was a thing about when she was a kid with her mom and all that kind of other stuff. But when she started doing that, the weight started dropping simply from that. So some questions have that expectation in it that is limiting what you've already decided and judged is the acceptable response. Okay? So we are going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what I just mentioned, what I just threw out, that sometimes we can have an expectation of the awareness. And so sometimes that doesn't allow us to actually receive what is possible. Okay? So when we come back, we're going to talk about that. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We are on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here, 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. I am the voice in your head. Bum, bum, bum. Sometimes it's really funny in my head. And, I know sometimes you guys are laughing at me and sometimes you're laughing with me, but as long as you're laughing, I'm happy. And speaking of being the voice in your head, I would really like to invite you guys to the Right Body for You book club. Besides it being a radio show, a workshops, and all of those kind of fun things, it is also a book. And we've been doing a Right Body for You book club, and we have been having so much fun. We have been rocking the world. After every call, I've been getting off going, holy crap, that went to some interesting, amazing places and spaces. And the good news is it's a free book club. All you need to do is have the book. How's that for a prereq? The prereq is having the book for the book club. I know, crazy, insane. But have the book, read the book, and just join in on the conversation. It's 14 weeks, 14 chapters, so 14 weeks in a row, and it is free for all. I do ask you to register so you can get the call-in information. We are on week 12 tomorrow, but don't let that deter you. Each chapter is its own conversation, so you can start right now. And then there are replays, both video and audio, so you can catch up whatever you would like. Listen to whichever ones are grabbing you for the moment. But please do check it out. You can go to Right Body for You, the continuing story on Facebook, and get the link, or we will post it in the Right Body for You radio show page. And you can sign up and start getting the call-in information and the replays, because the second you sign up, not the second, but, within a few hours of you signing up, you get all the replays as well. So you can do whatever you would like. So please do check that out. So today we're talking about space, the final frontier. And what we're talking about is questions. In Access Consciousness, Right Body for You, we talk a lot about questions, asking questions. Questions create. Ask a question, change your world. Ask a question, receive an awareness. Ask a question, question everything. Don't come to conclusion. Don't come to judgment. Ask a question, ask a question. And for me, it's really been interesting to see how many people stumble at this. Asking a question is one of the building blocks of Access Consciousness, of consciousness itself, and so often is one of the things people fear the most. In the workshop this weekend, we were talking about questions and about how people, including myself, got in trouble as a kid for asking questions. You're just trying to cause trouble. You're just not satisfied. Well, you don't know anything if you're asking questions. And so what's interesting is one of the building blocks, one of the foundational things for consciousness itself is being in the question or questions. And we have stopped that. We have not allowed it. We have only made the answer or the conclusion the valuable thing instead of actually being in the question. So that's some of what I wanted to talk about today was questions, the different type of questions, and allowing yourself to have the awareness, okay? And if you notice, I keep saying awareness, not answer, because this is what, in this reality, we've been taught, ask a question, get an answer, ask a question, get an answer, ask a question, get an answer. And what if that's some of the places that we're stumbling? Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, is always talking about You don't want an answer. You want an awareness, okay? Because I'll get to the definitions of it in a minute, but I want you also to just take a moment and look at the energy of it. All of you are so capable of being aware of energy, more than you give yourself credit for, okay? So I want you to look at the energy of answer. Just the word, look at the energy behind it, answer. Okay? Now I want you to look at the energy of the word awareness. Okay? Just the word itself and the energy behind it. Does one of them kind of feel like a conclusion? Does one of them kind of feel like it's a stuck place or an end result? And does one of them feel like more is possible? Does one of them feel like opening a door? Does one of them feel like closing a door? Okay? So I really want you to start looking at this. And for me, when I am looking at this, just the energy behind the word, for me, answer has like a finality. This is it, boom. I mean, you could almost hear like a door close, like this is the answer, poof. Nothing else is possible, it's just this answer, okay? For me, for awareness is that, okay, well, I have this awareness, and then what's the choice? What else is possible with this? Where can you go with this? It doesn't seem to be the finality. It seems to be information, okay? Answer for me is the end result. Awareness is the information that I'm requesting, okay? I know people think, oh, we ask a question, we're asking for the answer. You're actually not. You're asking for information. And then you get information to allow you to have more questions, to have more choices, to see what direction you want to go and what is required, okay? So this is why we're always talking about awareness, not answer, because an answer is a conclusion. You could have the most space, the question that creates space, the question creates possibility, the question creates so much, and then you're like, boof, answer, and everything just kind of fizzles. And then I know a lot of people judge themselves for this because it's like, well, I got an answer. Well, yes, you got an answer, but what's the awareness, okay? And something that I find really interesting with this is where we start to, this answer is where we start getting into what I hinted about in the first segment of we have an expectation of what the response should be, okay? Not what it is, but what it should be. Say like that question, what would it take to lose 50 pounds? Well, somewhere in our universe is often it's like, well, I know this diet worked last time, so that's probably going to be the answer. So I'm going to ask the question, and the answer is going to be not eat forever. That's how I'm going to lose 50 pounds, okay? So we say, okay, body, what would it take to lose 50 pounds? And again, it has that, remember that judgment even in that question. And then we're automatically go, see, the answer is not eat again. You're right, the answer is that, but what's the awareness? So for like this woman, the awareness was the talcum baby powder thing, right? It had nothing to do with food. And isn't that interesting? And sometimes when we're expecting or projecting an answer, we do things like, what's it going to take to lose 50 pounds? And then we think we project that it has to have something to do with food. What if it doesn't? Or, it has to do with a way of counting calories or exercise or anything like that. It's like oftentimes we put these projections and expectation, which are these answers, into the energy of the question we're asking. And then we get confused about the response we get. We come into judgment, we come into conclusion, and that's when we give up a lot, is because we go, well, you know what? I knew it, and that's no fun, so screw it. There's just no hope. Why am I doing anything? Okay? So when you ask a question, you actually want to allow yourself that space of it being a question and that space of it being an awareness, not an answer. Okay? So sometimes if you are doing this loop thing and not getting clarity, one thing I suggest you do is actually all projections, separations, expectations, rejections, and judgments I have already about what I think the answer will be. Destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, shorts, boys, and beyond. Because, and then you start to clear some of those things so that you can actually receive what the awareness is. For me, one of my favorite examples of this is the last time I was in Toronto, I was supposed to do Right Body for You workshop, the first time, right? And I ended up having my appendix out instead. Somebody else did the class for me. But the funny part of that is I asked my body, okay, body, what's going on here? Open-ended question, pretty cool. Okay, body, what's going on here? Body, what is this? And I got the awareness of appendix. What did I do? No, I don't do that. And I brushed it off aside. I came to judgment and conclusion. And then every time I'm like, body, why are you feeling sick? Body, what's going on? I had already rejected the awareness of what it actually was, which was appendix. And because if I had been able to go, okay, yes, it's appendix, podpoc, all my projections that I don't do that kind of stuff, I could have asked other questions like, okay, what would it take to change this, before it got to that surgery part. And so for me, it's really interesting. It's like I came to this conclusion. It wasn't because I didn't want it to be. And I had rejected the awareness because it wasn't the answer I wanted. Let me say that again. I had rejected the awareness because it wasn't the answer I wanted. So how many awarenesses have we rejected because it's not the answer that we're hoping for, that we wanted, that we projected or expected? Everything that is times the godzillion, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, shorts, boys, and beyond. Yeah. We get into this fun little loop with this, which is why it's like, hey, would you be willing to receive the awareness and not the answer? Okay, cool. We need to take our next little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk, we're going to build on this awareness versus answer thing and type of questions to help you get into that space of receiving the awareness and kind of getting you out of your own way with that. Okay? All right, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We are on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. Accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Today we're having fun talking about questions. And you guys, just the phrasing of that makes me laugh. We're talking about questions. It's funny in my head. It's funny with the whole wordsmith thing. Anywho, today we're talking about questions and how sometimes we get that confusion and we don't allow ourselves the space to receive what's actually going on. Are we looking for an answer instead of an awareness? Things like that. And one of the things I also want to talk about with this whole awareness is how many awarenesses are you hiding from? Okay? And what do I mean by that? How many sometimes with receiving an awareness to a question, energetically it comes so fast before we even finish the framing or actually articulating the question, we already have the energetic awareness, whether it's cognitive or not cognitive. Because that's the thing. Yes, tools are an amazing, words. Sometimes I finish the sentence before I begin it. It happens. Let me try that one again. Words are an amazing tool. They have energy behind them. Just like I asked you at the beginning of the show, look at the word answer and the energy behind it. Look at the word awareness and the energy behind it, okay? Words are an amazing tool with energies behind it. So when you use words, you call up certain energies, all right? All of this, the basis is the original language is energy, okay? So as we are articulating a question, or a sentence in my case, as we are articulating a question, oftentimes the energy gets there first. We have the energy of it, we're putting words to it, and sometimes the words are slow that we already have the energy of the question, and so with that we already have the energy of the awareness as well, okay? And so what I have seen happen a lot of times is people ask the question and then energetically they've already received the awareness early on and they're like, I don't want to know that. And even as I'm talking about that and stepping into that energy, my whole body kind of tenses like, I don't want to know that. I like being ignorant. And sometimes it's questions where it's obvious people may not want the response. One would be, is my husband cheating on me? I don't want to know that. Okay. Or it could be something as silly like, Body, would you like some chocolate cake? I don't want to know that. Because you want chocolate cake, but your body may not, or your body may. But because you're like, I don't want to know that because I know what I want it to be, and anything else that doesn't match what I want it to be, I actually don't want to know what that would be. Like, I don't want to know if my body doesn't want chocolate cake, because even though it could want chocolate cake, if it might not want chocolate cake, I don't actually want the awareness to the question I'm asking, because I really want the chocolate cake. And so what if I just like, I don't know. I asked the question, Buddy, would you like chocolate cake? And I don't know what the response is because I'm not willing to have the response because I'm kind of scared of the response. So screw it all. I'm just going to have the chocolate cake. Anybody else ever do that? Right? So how many awarenesses are you actually hiding from? Okay. That if you would allow yourself to receive them, would give you the information that you require to create and generate your life, your body, your business, your finances, and everything else in between, okay? I see a lot of people get confused by this. I see a lot of people go, I did not get a response. I didn't get an awareness. I asked the question and nothing happened. And it's like, you had already rejected the awareness before you even articulated the question. So truth, how many awarenesses are you hiding from? And then you do the pretense of a question. I asked the question, I got nothing. And meanwhile, your universe and the universe around you is going, oh, she's not listening to us because you know what? We gave her the awareness. She didn't want it. She's hiding from us, but we can see her. She's only hiding from herself. Did you guys get that? It's like, you're cute. We may think we're hiding from the awareness, but we're only hiding from ourselves. We are that cute and that potent, may I add, that we are hiding from ourselves. Because here's the thing, folks. Whether we actually articulate the question, if we have that question energetically in our universe, you know what? It's there. And you know what? We actually have the awareness to that question as well. It's there. Do you know it actually takes more energy to hide from the awareness than to receive the awareness, receive the information it's giving you, and then choosing from there? Okay? It takes more energy to hide than to receive it. So truth, would you be willing to receive it? No! Ah! What, is Donnielle still talking? No, just to the cat. She's listening. Of course, she's asleep. She's snoring. So truth. What awareness are you hiding from that if you were willing to receive it would give you the information you desire and require to change your life, to change your body, to change your business, to change your finances, to change your relationship? Anything that doesn't allow you to receive that with no judgment, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, light, shorts, boys, and beyond. See, energy of or space and energy of the question. People are always saying yes in the chat room before I got the question finished. You know, and you know that you do know. You know? That's funny. Trust me. Someday you're going to look back upon that and laugh because it's funny. So, what? Keisha, thank you for trying. Keisha's like, I couldn't keep up with typing the question. I appreciate it. I am having a party of one. Somebody in the chat room says, sounds like you're having a party of one. I am always having a party in my universe. Would you guys like to come play? Nothing else, you get to laugh. So truth, what awareness are you hiding from that if you are willing to receive it would give you the information you are asking for about how to change your life, change your body, change your finances, change your relationship, change your business, change your world? Anything that allow you to receive that, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, lion, shorts, boys, and beyond. Cool. Again, that's a verbal processing of access consciousness. Check it out, theclearingstatement.com. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about, okay, so I've asked a question. I'm pretty sure it's a question, not a conclusion with a question mark on it. I'm willing to not hide from the awareness. I'm willing to receive the awareness. I've podpocked what I expect the awareness should be, and I still have some confusion there. So what? Tell me. Cool. I will tell you after this break a few tips and tricks I have of kind of helping to get some clarity about what that response or awareness may be. Okay? All right, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We are on a2zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to the final segment, not the final frontier, but the final segment of today's Right Body for You show. And we're talking about space, allowing yourself the space of receiving the awareness to questions, what that even looks like, tastes like, feels like, smells like. Oh my gosh, something that is innate for all of us, which is asking a question, can get so mixed up, so convoluted, so crazy balls that we have made it this multi-layered, weird, scary thing. And hopefully today some of the stuff I'm sharing with you can help assist that, okay? So before the end, I really want to make sure we talked about, you've gotten to the place where you're asking a question, not a conclusion. You have you've podpocked any of expectations, projections of what you hope the answer is. Oh, and then you podpocked answer versus awareness. And sometimes you still kind of go, I don't know what's going on. I did all this and I'm still a little confused. Cool. So what I suggest you do is one of my favorite things in the world, and it's called copying an energetic field. Yes, folks, you heard me, copying an energetic field. And what I mean by that is so often we ask this question and we have decided and judged we should get an immediate response. It's like, okay, so should I do blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I don't know, because I don't have I don't know. We immediately go into judgment instead of actually giving ourselves the space to receive the awareness. Okay, so what do I mean by copying an energetic field? What I suggest doing is, let me give you an example. Should I go to this class? Whatever it is, okay? Will it create my life to go to this class? And then sometimes people just sit there and go blank. And they're like, I don't know. They even have that kind of blank look in their eyes. I don't know. So what I mean by copying an energetic field is you can actually try on things and kind of see how they feel. See if they click in your universe, see if they jive with it, or if it doesn't. And so maybe that's not the direction you want to go. Okay? So something like this. So, truth, would it create my life to go to this class? Yes. And then you kind of feel how that fits in your universe with that choice of yes there, okay? Because when you do that choice of yes, it sends out ripples of future, and then you copy an energetic feel of what that feels like, okay? So, and then you can come back and go, no, and then see what that future looks like with the no in place, okay? And you can toggle it. You can go back and forth. Should I go to the class? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, no, okay, no, or yes, yeah, I got it. Feels lighter. It feels like a click in my universe, like it flows with it, like it creates something in the future that is desirable for me, okay? So that's what I mean by copying an energetic feel, and then actually being able to just, kind of like toggle in between it, going yes, no, cop that feel. See what it is like for you in your universe with that on, okay? And you can do things like, oh, should I sleep with this person? Yes, no. Sleep with him? Don't sleep with him. Yes, no. And there's not only, you can do it with more than two choices. Not everything is just A or B, yes or no, black or white. Sometimes there could be 3 or 4 or 5 choices that you're immediately aware of. Try each one on. Cop that energetic feel. See what it feels like, okay? And then really quickly, another type of question is that open-ended question, which you don't have all the information. My favorite example is body, what would you like to look like? Sometimes you can get an immediate awareness like I did. Body, what would you like to look like? And I got an immediate awareness of Marilyn Monroe in her heyday. I could see the photos and everything. But that's because I had already had that in my universe, right? My pictures of her and all that kind of stuff. And then there are some people like Gary Douglas, first asked his body, what would you like to look like? And it went nowhere. I don't mean it went nowhere, but there wasn't an immediate response. It took 4 months for the universe and his body and everything to get things in line and position, and so that he was watching TV on the certain day at the certain time to watch this show where it had a person who his body went, that. Okay, see, that's what I want to look like. Okay? So it's not that you didn't get anything immediately. It's just the space that's required for you, for your body, for the universe, whatever it is, to get you to that place and space to give you the information cognitively that you're asking for, okay? So sometimes when you ask these questions, the space is actually allowing that time. I know time isn't real, and allowing that time for it to come to you, okay? So I hope this show helped a little bit, talking about questions, the different type of questions, hiding from it, having expectations and answers and awareness, and there's a lot of information in this show. I hope you listen to it again. Actually, I think I will too, because it was really interesting. And, and I would like to invite you to workshops all over the world. We just had the Right Body For You workshop in Toronto. 2.5 days. We had so much fun. We laughed. We joked. We we were a little bit naughty, and we had a lot of fun. So I invite you to check out the workshops. Sometimes the next ones are in Rome, London, Vienna, Dubai, and then Mumbai. And that's just the rest of this year. And then there's all of next year. But I do invite you and your body to come to these. We have so much fun. And you know what? We change things not only for us, but for also the world, because we're always able to open up more energies of what's required and what's desired and what will create change. So please do consider it. You can go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE, and check out the full schedule. And then if you would ever like a private session, please let me know. I do those over Skype. I do them over phone. We find a time, place that works for both of us. If you've had something that you would really like to get in depth with me about, whether it's about your body, money, or anything, please, if there's something I can contribute to you and it calls to you, please let me know. You can email me at Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com and send me an email, and we can work out a time and everything that works for you. So please do let me know if that is something that would be fun for you, because it would be fun for me too, which is the best thing I love about the radio show, the workshops, private sessions, is I get to see people change. I invite them to that. I get to watch them choose, ask questions, receive awarenesses, yes, receive awarenesses and change the world, and it's such an honor for me to be a part of that. So thank you so much for all of that, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope to see you back next week. I am rounding the corner to 100 Right Body For You shows. I'm so excited. So everyone, you know what? I hope you have a happy week. I hope you have a fun week. I hope you enjoy your body, because it's enjoying you. And I hope to see you back here next week, because guess what? I'll be here. So I hope you will be too. Until then, have a great one, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.